And welcome to the Premier League Punters Show. I'm your host, Natalie Van Rydstrom, and introducing our guests here. We've got Flash, we've got Big Man on campus, and you may notice a new face. His name is Michael. You're a chef by day, you're a bettor by night, and Premier League is your thing, right?
Absolutely.
Sweet. Well, listen, I'm excited to hear your picks. I have to say, Team Bankroll here, Flash, Big Man, Russ, and myself. We made 26 units of profit last weekend. And I know Flash says that we should sing at the end of the season, but I do believe that you should sing when you're winning, because I certainly cry when I'm losing. So, well done, boys. Congratulations. How are we feeling? Big Man, you're on top. Back where you're used to sitting, on top of the charts.
Yeah, well, listen, Natalie, I need to stay out of League One and League Two, focus a lot more on the Premier League. League Two has hurt me over the last couple of days, but Premier League Punters has been great. Hey, listen, you can't keep a good guy down too long. All these people jibber-jabbering, all big man, he's down 7 units. Hey, listen, my top, look at Natalie, the main thing you want to look at is profit and average price. My average price is 2.6. I don't sit back and take draw no bets and draw double chances. I get out and I perform and give you big dogs to take. That's what we're doing this week again.
Yeah, interesting. Okay. Yes. So as it stands right now, we are at 15.7 units of profit. We were down like -10, -11. So up 15.7. Very nice. Big Man, 5.4 units of profit. Flash, 4.5, me, 3.8, and Russ, 2. Bearing in mind, Russ has been on 2 shows there, 26.5 units of profit. I've posted, detailed everything over on my Twitter account, at Natalie Rydstrom, if you guys want to check that out. All right, quickly as well, Michael, Big Man sort of saying he doesn't do those draw no bets. He goes for those dogs. Have you got sort of a style of betting that you like to focus on?
I pretty much do the same thing. I mean, I try not to take anything with too low of odds, and definitely don't do the draw double chance like Big Man said.
All right. I like to tread caution. I do like the draw double chance sometimes, but I'm a little bit more of a cautious bettor. All right, let us start off. We have a Friday match, Brighton versus West Ham. Brighton 2.62, West Ham 2.8, and draw 3.3. Now, Flash was almost not going to be on the show, so I do know his bet. It is Brighton. I am surprised with this Brighton bet. West Ham have just looked really good. They've sort of had a turnaround of events. They're looking strong, and I'm surprised you're taking Brighton.
I'm taking Brighton because if you have a look at their normal home form over the course of the season, this is what keeps them up. This is their staple diet of getting points in the Premier League. Go over the West Ham's last few games. Don't bring the Man United game into it. I know under 11 sides that would beat Manchester United at the moment. They are. It's basically, if there was a horse, you couldn't like clarify the form. So put that line through that. They drew 0-0 with Chelsea, didn't really create anything, and they had 10 men behind the ball, and they defended deep. They'll fancy they've got a chance in this game, and you've got to go with Brighton at odds again at home against a West Ham side that's basically. The jury's still out with them.
All right.
So I think 6-4, 2.5. I'll go with them.
All right. What about you, Big Man? Are you playing the outrights in this match?
No, I'm not. I'm actually passing this match for a variety of reasons. One of which is it's a standalone game on Friday. I don't generally like those. I don't like the Monday fixtures either. I will admit, though, West Ham playing pretty well. They won 3 of 4. They've scored 14 goals. Now let's pull back the onion. 8 of those were against a Macclesfield team that, quite arguably, guys, might be the worst team in all 4 leagues. Flash and I think, have come to that realization. Macclesfield are complete shit. But, look, at the end of the day, they are playing better. Defensively, they've been okay. But I think Brighton is a team that are always shaky on the road. Generally, at home, they play a lot better. Chris Houghton's got them playing decently at Amex. So, for me, it's going to be a pass. Not a big fan of standalone games.
All right, going for a pass. Michael, have you got any light to shed on this match?
Yeah, I'm passing on it as well. If I had to lean, I'd lean West Ham. But as far as Friday games, I agree with Big Man. I cannot figure out the Friday games regardless of who's playing.
This isn't a match on the telly, Flash.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's a match on the telly.
Fortunately, we'll all have to witness and watch it. It's
Why
here
didn't
over the
you
United
tell
States.
us, Flash? Usually you're the announcer of which matches are on telly.
Yeah, well, you know that Friday night, the only reason that it's a Friday night is because of the telly.
All right. Actually, in talking, you guys may have noticed we're an hour earlier than we normally film, and that's because Big Man, he's not on the telly, but he's on the radio. Big Man, how can we hear you on the radio?
Yeah, you can listen every day. You can download the app, the Fox Sports Chicago app. They have their own personal app, the radio station. If you're in the Chicago area, you can listen on the radio, AM 1530, 102.3 FM. We're basically getting going in Chicago. It's an all betting show. We talk gambling, we talk baseball, basketball, college football, NFL, really everything. Donnie and I. Basically, it's another show, very similar to the one we do in the morning, but it's a way that we could be heard in bigger markets and run right after kind of some bigger names. So yeah, it's fun, and I appreciate you guys pushing it up. I know they have Champions League as well, so that's actually helped some of the listeners, I think, also. Most of the games get going towards the end anyway. So I appreciate Natalie. I always enjoyed doing this show, so glad you're able to fit me in. But yeah, it's fun to listen on. We're going to take calls probably a week or so. I'll be able to hear some of the listeners in the Flash, so looking forward to that as well.
Sweet. Yeah, no, absolutely. You're part of the team, Big Man. You're part of the furniture here at Premier League Punters, so we've got to move the time so you can come and join. Russ is going for both teams to score. He's at a concert at the moment, but he did send in his picks. He's going for both teams to score at 1.9. So obviously we're keeping a track of all his bets as well. I was leaning towards the West Ham, I have to say. I just think West Ham are a team to back right now, a little bit like Burnley. But I do ultimately agree with the standalone matches, but I was liking both teams to score as well. West Ham 8 goals conceded across 3 games. Sorry, Brighton scored 6 across their 3 games at home. I think this is looking at a goals game. Both teams to score 1.87. I might actually make that an official play. I will decide at the end. Burnley versus Huddersfield. Now this one I love. Burnley 2.15, draw 3.2. Huddersfield 4.3. Now, Big Man, I'm wondering what the bookies are going to offer me of whether you were on the Burnley bet or not. My bet is Big Man's playing the Burnley bet.
Yeah, because you look at Burnley and why they struggled. I mean, Natalie, we know why they struggled. Because they had to play in Europa. Now Europa's over. Had a couple games get back on their feet. And they've looked very good. They've won a couple games in a row. It's more or less for me, Natalie, the fact that they're at home here. Turf Moor has been a fortress for them, for years now. You and I have bet them for years at home. And, Sean Dyche has made that into a fortress. As far as this also, it is a fate of Huddersfield. Huddersfield are the worst team in this league. Yeah. And that's amazing to say because Cardiff are absolute shit as well. Huddersfield have scored 3 goals on the season. That's just dreadful. Yeah. They're giving up them too. They can't keep goals out. They're not a Premier League side right now. Burnley, we know. I think this is a great time for them to kind of get back on the bounce defensively as well. I had them last week. I'm going to take them again here. Great price on Burnley, 2.15.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm on that Burnley train. Michael, we were last season, made a lot of money on Burnley. They were often sort of underestimated. They were a good price. The beginning of the season, obviously, they let us down with their Europa League commitment. I'm back on the Burnley train, 2.15. Are you joining us, Michael, on the Burnley train?
Yeah, I was on Burnley last weekend, but this weekend I'm going to stay on the unders.
Okay.
I'm going to take under 2.25 at minus 144. Sorry, I didn't have time to convert that into your guys' decimal.
That's all right. So what's the, I was looking at sort of possible Burnley win to 0. What's your reasoning for the under?
I just don't think Huddersfield's going to be able to score here. I mean, Burnley kept a tight game last weekend, and I expect pretty much the same this weekend.
All right, so the under 2.25. Yeah, I was looking at the Burnley win to 0 there, 3.2, but I'm not greedy. I'm going to stick with the 2.15. Russ is on the Burnley win. Flash.
Yeah, I'm going to make it near enough a full house. Burnley, let's not complicate it, 2.15. I do think that this could be a 2 or 3-1, though. I don't think it will be. I don't think it'll be a tight 1-0.
Yeah, I know it's a tricky one there, Michael. But listen, if he's going with what he feels all right. So 4 of us on the Burnley win. Michael there under 2.25. Next, Crystal Palace versus Wolves. Wolves 2.8, Crystal Palace 2.8, draw 3.1. Again, Wolves have been a team that have made us money. Russ is passing on this match. I think this is going to be an unders game, and I'm a little nervous to play the Wolves win. I did notice one of the guys that was commenting right at the beginning, best bet Wolves to beat Crystal Palace away, and that's from Scott Fitzgerald. Flash, do you agree with that?
I pass.
All right. Man of many words, there is passing. Was there a reason?
Or I just can see all 3 results.
Okay. All right. Michael, what do you like in this one?
I like both teams to score in over 2.5 here. I think both these teams are going to go forward, and you're going to see a lot of goals in this game.
Okay. Goals in the game. Big man.
Yeah, I mean, riveting analysis by Flash there on his breakdown. Absolutely tremendous stuff. Listen, I actually disagree with both Flash and Mike. I don't see it. Both these teams have been incredibly unlucky. If you watch Crystal last year and this year, they've just been an unlucky side. They can't really create much outside of Wilfred Zaha. Wolves have been a team that, hitting the woodwork, that long balls, just not converting a ton. I do think they're the better side, though. Crystal Palace are a team that just don't have enough to me right now. I think Wolves are a team at this price that I think are worth it. This is a game where I think if you're Wolves, you got to find ways to win. Draws aren't going to get it done. If you want to be thought of as a top 10 side, you got to beat teams like Crystal Palace. I just don't see enough from them right now that make me want to get them. At 2.8, I think Wolves are a good play. They've won 3 out of the last 4 Premier League games. The only one that didn't win was a draw. I like Wolves here. I'm going to take 2.8 here with the dog away.
Are you? Yeah, I'm so tempted to pull the trigger. I just wish that Wolves was at home. I'd feel a little bit more comfortable. But Crystal Palace obviously have yet to win at home and even score. So that's what would worry me about that overs game. I actually like the unders, 1.74 with a lean towards Wolves. I really like it. I don't know, there's something that's holding me back. But I think it's going to be an unders game. Last 8 matches have gone under for Wolves. Crystal Palace 3 out of 5. I think it's going to be a close and cagey game, possibly a 1-0, 2-0 to Wolves. That would be my guess. We have Burnley man on campus. Whale Kappa is joining us. Great guy. Do a Whale _Kappa NFL picks and also tennis picks. He comes on our shows and we run down the Grand Slams there. We'll be back in January with those. Russ is a pass. Leicester versus Everton now. Leicester 2.3, Everton 3.3, draw 3.5, 8th and 11th respectively. Leaning on the home win, I have to say. They're looking in good form. Michael, start us off for this match. What do you like here? What kind of match do you expect?
I at least expect both teams to score here. I mean, Leicester cannot keep a goal out to save their lives. And Everton, I mean, they're not great going forward, but, I mean, they're decent. I would think they can at least get one in. So I go both teams to score at -147.
-147, I can confirm that means 1.75 here. That's Russ's play. Both teams to score. Completely agree with you there. I think this could be an open match. Flash, have you got any more words to shed on this match?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I've gone with both teams to score and over 2.5. Alex Classic. I can't have Leicester's defence. I mean, I know they kept a clean sheet last week, but every week, I mean, listen, even Huddersfield scored at the King Power. So, but the one thing you can't deny is that Leicester do score in nearly every game they play. So I think this is quite a safe bet. I mean, I sent over the odds earlier. What was the odds? That's
you actually didn't send that bet, Flash. You sent me 4.
Oh, didn't I? Oh, sorry, I was meant to send that one. I think it's 2.1.
Well, I'll look for you. I'll write it down.
Thank you very much.
That's all right. That's all right. We've got Walking Terrible says both teams to score looks good. Gurneet Singh says both teams to score as well. That's my bet, both teams to score. Big man, what are you going for?
I'm just going to go with the straight over 2.5, 1.9. Both these teams are pretty tremendous scoring goals. You look at Everton. I mean, plenty of options now. You know, Theo Walcott's been a big grab for them. He's been a nice player. Charleston is scoring goals. I mean, Leicester. We've talked about it. I mean, I know Flash is a lot more down on them defensively than some. He made a blasphemous statement calling Harry Maguire one of the most overrated defenders in the country, which is
Really? Why?
ridiculous.
Why?
Well, I mean, did you see him in a World Cup flash? He killed him. I don't know if you saw it, but
Hold on a minute. Let's have a little look at the teams he played, big man. I remember rightly during the World Cup, we commented on England had an absolute armchair ride because they played duffs all the way through.
Listen, I get you. I hear you. And that's a decent argument to make. But Croatia, I mean, they're pretty good. They ended up going to the final. Either way,
they beat them.
I think right. You're right. And I'm not going to comment that their defense is anything great either. Vardy, Madison's been a great player for them. I'm going to go over 2.5. I think we see a fun one here. I could honestly see a draw. I think a draw might be a decent, maybe a smaller play, but I think the best play here is goals over 2.5.
Over 2.5, all right. So, yeah, expecting goals in this game. I have to say leaning towards Leicester. I do like that price there at home against a struggling hit or miss team, Everton. Next, we've got Tottenham versus Cardiff. Tottenham 1.26, draw 6.5, and Cardiff 15. Now, those odds are with 10 bet, by the way. We've got a special promo code, SBR10bet or SBR10bet UK for new sign-ups with 10bet, and the link is also in the description. Now, obviously, we're doing this before the game to Barcelona, so we can't look out for any injuries, red cards, etc., or any eventuality. So just bear that one in mind. If we do change our bet, this is a clip. The boys will notify me, and I will amend it on the record. I'm liking, I have to say. You know, they're playing Cardiff. I'm liking Tottenham at the moment. They had a shaky start, back to winning ways. They did lose their Champions League fixture, though, to Inter Milan. And so this game, playing Barca, it is hosting Barca. It's a must win. It's a must put up. Big man, do you like Tottenham in this match? I know it's low, but is it something that you would combine it with something?
I'm actually going to go kind of a different route than maybe normal. I think they'll dispatch Cardiff. I think the goal here will be, let's get rid of them early here. Luckily, they're playing at home. They're at Wembley, so they don't have to travel to Spain and come back. Cardiff are dire. They're on the road here. I'm actually going to go with Spurs to be up at halftime. 1.7 I can get at Ladbrokes. I'm going to go with that. I think they want to get through the job early, get out of here with the lead. I think at worst it's 1-0, but I'll say they're up 2-0. I don't think Cardiff's on the same level. Watch out with Spurs win to 0 or 1.5. And doing some research, I've noticed this team seems to give up random goals, like late in games, and 3-1s kind of turn into the easy wins, but the win to 0 doesn't come in. Last week was the first time they did it in quite a while, it seems like. Spurs first half for me, 1.7.
Oh, I love that bet, big man. Good find. Good find. Michael, what are you going for? Tottenham versus Cardiff?
Yeah, I'm on the same thought as Big Man. I'm going to go Tottenham halftime, full-time at minus 131. I mean, regardless of what Tottenham does with Barcelona today, I think that Cardiff will be a pretty easy match for them.
Yeah. Okay, Tottenham halftime, full-time. Nice, getting some extra value there. Flash, what have you got for us?
No, I'm not going to play, but I mean, it's Tottenham and under 3.5, or Tottenham to win both halves, but I'm not going to play, so to pass.
All right, why are you not going to play man of many words today? Not very talkative today.
Right, because I've got other. Well, the thing is, there's 4 of us, and I'm trying to give other people time. Otherwise, we'll still be here on Saturday.
We won't be here on Saturday. We've got
best in the league. Now, I look at this game and I think there's better value elsewhere. Otherwise, you have too many bets.
All right. Okay, less is more in Flash's mantra. Russ is going for Spurs and the under 4.5 goals at 1.7. And that is actually my bet as well. I was leaning towards it. I am going to play it. Spurs win. They don't win heavy. Last 9 matches have seen 3 goals or under. Now, obviously, on the other side of the fence, you do have Cardiff. They've got a poor defence. They've been thrashed by the likes of Man City. I just don't think that Tottenham are going to thrash Cardiff. Probably a little bit fatigued as well from their midweek Champions League fixture. So yeah, Spurs and the under 4.5 goals at 1.7. Was sort of tempted on a little play of both teams to score, but I'm going to leave it and just keep it Spurs and the under 4.5 goals. Watford versus Bournemouth now. Watford 2.1, Bournemouth 3.5, and the draw 3.6. Watford obviously poor run, failed to win in their last 3 matches, but they have been playing the likes of Manchester United, although how much you want to read in that one, Fulham, Arsenal. Bournemouth slightly better, but they really struggle on the road, and I think this is something to consider, home advantage, and obviously the team on the road being Bournemouth. What do you like here, big man?
I'm going for the draw, 3.6. I think these teams are about as similar as you can get. Maybe Watford a small advantage because they're at home, but you look at stats, I mean, about the same as far as goals scored, very similar players. I don't see either team with a star. I don't think they really break each other down too much. I think this is 1-1. I really do. I think this is about as even as a match as you're going to get in this league. I'm going to go with the draw at 3.6.
Ooh. You weren't kidding when you said you were going for those big odds today, big man. Flash, is this a match you're playing? Yes, you are playing this one because you sent me your tips.
Yeah, I am. I'm going for Watford, and I'm going to make this my banker. I've been more impressed with Watford in their defeats than I was actually when they were winning games. Because when they were winning games, they should have been 2-3-0 down and out of sight, and yet they've hung around and they've found a way to win. I can't believe that you're getting odds against, to be honest, against a side like Bournemouth, who doesn't get very much on the road. So for me, 2.1. And the big thing with Watford for me that I've got to say, and I've got to give them credit for, is their team spirit. They seem to all be rowing in the same direction. You can't put a price on that in the Premier League.
No, you can't put a price on that in the Premier League. Chef Michael, what are you going for?
I am passing on this match. These are 2 teams that I try to stay away from until I can figure them out. And right now, I just haven't figured them out yet.
All right, staying away until he figures it out. Fair enough. Oh, man, I'm leaning on the Watford win. I'm so tempted here on this one. Just basically based on Bournemouth's poor run. Thinking about it. Leaning on Watford. Manchester United versus Newcastle. Man United 1.48, draw 4.5, Newcastle 8.5. Those odds with 10 bet. And don't forget Team Bankroll's special promotion code SBR10bet or SBR10bet UK. The link is in the description for new sign-ups. I was leaning yesterday's match against Valencia there 0-0. Under 2.5 goals. Obviously, they drew 0-0. Glad I didn't play the Manchester United win, and glad I jumped off the both teams to score train. I've been on both teams to score, Michael, here since pretty much since the beginning, and I've made money whenever Manchester United have played. I have to say, on this particular match, I'm not sure whether Newcastle can score. They've scored just 1 road goal. They keep their games tight. Flash, I know you've not got a play, but what would you lean to in this match?
Under 2.5 goals. And I tell you what, anyone that has a bet in this game are completely and utterly putting their hands like that and going, I'll go like that. Because you cannot trust this Man United side. Their attitude is an absolute disgrace. Forget Mourinho. Just go with the players. You have a professional pride, and it doesn't matter how much you earn, because you don't think about how much you earn when you go over that white line. You play to win. What got you to be a professional footballer is a competitive side within you. And yet I'm seeing in the Man United boys that they couldn't give a flying toss. I saw them strut around against West Ham last week, and you could have picked that they were going to get beat free after 10-15 minutes. Yeah. So you go up against a side that are going to be organised. I wouldn't be surprised if this is 0-0, or even if it's 1-0 to Man United and they then Olay. I just could not trust Man United as far as I can throw. I think all the value is on the Newcastle and the unders.
Yeah. Well, Walking Terrible says, if you back them, Nat, I'm all over Newcastle. Don't worry, I've said I'm not backing Manchester United. I want them to win, not backing Manchester United. Russ is doing Manchester United and the under 4.5 goals at 1.73. I think this is going to be a close game. What do you have here, big man?
Russ, smart man. I agree 100%. I'm on Man United and under 4.5 as well. And I'm going to tell you why. And I'm going to tell you why bookies don't want action on this game. Look at the number. As bad as United has played, as bad as they've been, as much as no one wants to back this group, the books don't want action on this game. It's clear. They made the line way too low. Punters aren't going to commit to take United. It's not sexy to take a 1.45 or 1.5. As bad as they've been, they're at home. I've actually been able to pick some of these off. I've grabbed them at bad prices, but they get the job done. They did it in a few games a few weeks ago. They're a better team. Newcastle is not good on the road. They've only scored 4 goals on the season. At any rate, Flash makes a good point, but at the end of the day, they are footballers, and they're better than Newcastle. I'm going to combine it, though, with the under 4.5. I think United comes in and gets the job done. This is a one where you have to look at the line and say, why are they only 1.4? The books don't want money on this game. They don't want action on United. They're trying to put it into a place where you're not going to bet it. Nobody will bet this. It's not sexy to back 1.44.
We've got Footy Picks. One says the only tip you can give somebody for this game is to not watch it. Both sides are diabolical. And then you've got Adiji Shalom says, Man U, seriously, I bet Man U to concede. Ha ha ha, shitty defence. I'm normally on both teams to score. Newcastle not only has a shitty defence, they have a shitty score record too on the road. So, could be a bit tough. Michael, what are you going for?
I'm staying clear away from this match as well, but if I had to lean away, I would definitely lean unders. I mean, United is just dreadful right now. They don't want to play. They don't want to do anything. So, I mean, the match last night was evident of that.
Yeah. I have to say I am going to jump on the unders here. I'm making an official play under 2.5 goals at 1.97. I would have combined it with the Manchester United, but Michael, I promised while I swore to myself that I wouldn't for the rest of the season. Fulham versus, I'm also a Manchester United fan. That helped. Fulham versus Arsenal now. Arsenal 1.67, draw 4.5, and Fulham 5.25. London derby here. Arsenal in fine form. A lovely sort of, what does the low bag call it? Low-hanging fruit. A low-hanging fruit. Is Arsenal a low-hanging fruit? Should we be tempted by this low-hanging fruit? Big man.
I mean, they've won 7 in a row. They've actually quietly been one of the better sides in the league over the last few weeks. Unai Emery has his team playing at a high level. They're throwing out clean sheets. How about that? They've thrown out 2 straight clean sheets in the league. Do have a game over in Azerbaijan, which a few of the big boys are heading over to. But, Fulham have been leaky. They've given up 16 goals this year, the most in the league. I actually like Arsenal and over 1.5 at 1.8. I think Arsenal go in there. This isn't a far trip. They're both in London. It is a dangerous trip because Craven Cottage can be a little shaky, but Arsenal are giving goals up right now. To me, this is 2-0, maybe 2-1. I go Arsenal and over 1.5 at 1.8.
Yeah, Arsenal started their season, didn't they, with a shaky defence. Didn't look like much improvement had happened from last season, but they've obviously not conceded in their last 2 games there to Everton and Watford. Big man, I'm exactly with you there. Arsenal on the over 1.5 goals at 1.8. What are you on, Michael?
I'm on Arsenal. I think they've finally figured out their road problems, and they can finally win on the road. So I'm on Arsenal minus 0.75 at minus 131.
Okay. All right, so a comfortable win. I agree with you as well. I think, 1-2-0 to Arsenal. Not really predicting Fulham to score in this one. Flash, I know you don't have a play. Why are you not playing this one?
Because I think Arsenal have got away with absolute murder in their last 2 games. Everton should have and could have scored 4. I know they didn't. They won 2-0, but one of them goals wouldn't be allowed in an under-5s game because he was 2 yards offside. I think the scores have actually flattered them. Don't get me wrong, Arsenal going forward, I don't expect to see any games where it says Arsenal 0 because they've got such an array and talent going in and different types of goals as well. You've got Lacazette who doesn't come out the box and doesn't come out the goal frame. absolutely perfect foil is obviously Ozil, and then you've got Aubameyang as well. So for me, Arsenal definitely score. I just think that Fulham have got to throw caution to the wind sooner or later, and I don't see Arsenal keeping a clean sheet. I could easily see this being a 1-1, 2-1 game, but I just not enough to press the button.
Okay, all right. Fulham, obviously, they are in poor form. 1 win in 5, failed to score in 2. I have to say, and Arsenal for an Aka bet 1.67. I'm not expecting the draw here. Right, 3-4. Liverpool versus Manchester City, the key highlight match. What an awesome game. Almost feels like it's a title match at the moment, title race match at the moment. And it really is. It'd be interesting to see who emerges victor, or if we will be going for the draw. Liverpool 2.4, Man City 2.95, draw 3.7 odds with 10bet. Don't forget Team Bankroll's promotion code SBR10bet UK, SBR10bet. And the link is in the description for new sign-ups. Both have Champions League commitments. Liverpool obviously have one less day of rest. Or Manchester City, sorry. Manchester City have one more day of rest. Liverpool one less day of rest. So Flash, will that hinder Liverpool? They've got the home advantage. They have got one less day of rest.
No, not at all. I mean, this game, you could ask 10 people, and you could maybe get 10 different angles on a way to play it. I think the safest way for me to play this game is, and I am going to play it, is official. I'm going to go with a draw. The last 3, this will be the 3rd week on the trot that I've gone for a draw in the live game. 3.7, massive value. There's nothing really to split them. I don't see Man City going now and trying to outgun Liverpool. Because if they try and outgun Liverpool, then Liverpool could really put them to the sword. And I think that a point for Man City will be a lot better than it would be for a point for Liverpool. Liverpool, excellent defensively. They're near enough the whole package. The one thing that Man City have got to do is leave Anfield with something. Mm-hmm. So I think that this could be quite a dull match, or just teetering on. It's going to explode, and it never quite gets there. So I'm going to go for the draw at 3.7. All
right, 3.7. Russ is also on the draw at 3.7. I forgot to say as well, Fulham versus Arsenal. Russ is on Fulham plus 1.25. Michael, a little quiet there in the corner. What's your play for this match?
I'm not too impressed with City at this point yet. I mean, I don't feel like they've been tested too much, and when they have, we've seen what happened. I wasn't impressed with them yesterday, and I fully expect Liverpool to win this. So I'm taking Liverpool at plus 138. And I'm also taking Liverpool in the over 1.5 at plus 143.
Nice. All right, Liverpool there, 2.4. Big man on campus.
That's an unbelievable take that you haven't been impressed by Man City. That's amazing. I mean, they've killed it without their best player, which is interesting point. But I got to tell you, I think this is the biggest game in this league in 2 years. This is a gigantic football game. You look at these teams, both 19 points. If you're Liverpool, this is your chance. They're not running away. This is a very live group. This is a very live league. You're at home. De Bruyne is out. He's not going to be out going forward down the road when you see him again out in Manchester. I think this is a gigantic football game for them. I think they go for it. I think they get the job done. I don't love City in defense. I think this is their weak spot. I see what Liverpool's done. They're on the bounce, playing well. Gomez and Van Dijk have been terrific. I think this is Liverpool's game to lose. I'm going to go Liverpool 2.52.
Yeah. 2.52. I sort of agree with Michael in a bit. They've sort of let you down when you sort of felt, they're obviously their Champions League match to Lyon. Nobody saw that. They last lost on the road, drew playing Wolves. Again, a match that they were predicted. It sort of makes them obviously they then come back and beat Cardiff 5-0. Their matches are full of goals. It's sometimes they drop the ball a little bit. We're experiencing with Bayern Munich at the moment, and it just kills Ackers. And everybody loses on that match. So I sort of agree with that one there. But of course, they're one of the best teams in the country in the world.
No, they're the best team in the world.
Yeah.
Liverpool.
One of, except you said Liverpool was. Remember, you were like, get used to that Liverpool.
No, they are.
Have it. You're gonna hear it as your ringtone.
Sure. I mean, because everyone wants to think that they're not. People don't want to buy in. They think Man City's better and all these. Liverpool's the best team in the world. Okay, until somebody. I think this year's the year for them. And look, the City point's interesting. It is. But Liverpool, this is your time. This is in all due respect, this is the best time to beat Man City. You have a lot of things working for you here. As far as one of the commenters, he says Salah's not playing well, and they're still absolutely destroying teams. That's what's so dangerous about this group.
Yeah. All right. I'm on Liverpool. I like the overs. I like the overs. I also like both teams to score. Over is 1.64. It's low. Both teams to score 1.56. If it was a better price for both teams to score, I'd be all over it. But I'm just going to go with Liverpool at 2.4. And I did miss a match, which was we did Crystal Palace versus Wolves. Did I miss? I missed one. I saw when I was
Chelsea.
Back.
Southampton, Chelsea.
Yes. Saving the best till last for you there, Flash. Southampton versus Chelsea. Chelsea 1.65. Draw 4.1. Saints 6.5. Those odds with 10bet. Click the link in the description box below. Takes you straight to 10bet and sign up with our special promo code SBR10bet or SBR10bet UK. Please don't tell me you're on Southampton again, Flash.
No, not at all. I've gone with Chelsea at 1.65. So that's probably the lowest odds that you will hear me say all season, but I just think they're immoral.
Finally. All right. Flash has finally seen the light. Big man.
Yeah, some wild takes on the chat today. Absolutely wild takes. Some are maybe on drugs, I think. Listen, I don't do this often either. This is a bet I don't make very often, but Eden Hazard is playing out of his mind right now. He scored 6 goals in 5 games. Give me anytime goal scorer, Eden Hazard, 2.05. Okay.
Russ is on the under 2.5 goals. Interesting, 2.11. Few bets, obviously, I like this one. Chelsea win, Chelsea -1, 2.09. Chelsea win to 0, 2.81. Which one I will decide in 1 second. What are you going for, Michael?
Yeah, I got 2 plays here. I'm going to go with Chelsea -1.5 at +162. And I'm also going to play Chelsea and under 4.5 at -135.
Cool.
I don't see Southampton scoring anything more than possibly 1 goal, but I don't see them scoring anything more.
Yeah, no, I know. Do you know what? I'm gonna take that bet as well. Chelsea and the under 4.5 goals. Let me just pick up the. Yeah, I like that bet a lot. I think it's going to be a comfortable but tight win for Chelsea. Sort of maybe a 2-0, something like that. I like the Chelsea bet as a parlay, but I'm going to do Chelsea in the under 4.5 goals as my official bet. All right, so all 10 matches. We've still got 20 minutes there, Flash. See, it's all you not taking any of the airtime. So, if we can, because it just makes it better if people want to write down the bets, just go through your bets then with your nap and your parlay. Flash, what are you going for? Official bets and parlay and nap, please.
Okay, I'm going for Brighton to win at 2.5. I'm going for Watford to win at 2.1, and that's my banker. I'm going for Burnley to win at 2.15. I'm going for Chelsea to win at 1.65. I'm going for Leicester, both teams to score an over 2.5 at 2.1. And a draw, Man City and Liverpool, at 3.7. My parlay is Brighton to beat West Ham and Watford to beat Bournemouth.
Perfect. All right. Big man.
That concludes the England vote.
Big man, what have you got?
Burnley 2.15, Wolves 2.8, over 2.5, 1.9, Everton Leicester, Spurs first half 1.7, Bournemouth Watford draw 3.6, United and under 4.5 at 1.73, Arsenal and over 1.5, 1.8, Liverpool to beat City 2.52, and Eden Hazard anytime goal scorer 2.05. And my banker is Burnley to beat Huddersfield at 2.15, and my 2-team parlay is Arsenal and over 1.5 and Spurs first half 1.7.
All right, wonderful. I love that Spurs one. That's a nice one. Michael, what's on your slate for the weekend?
I got Huddersfield and Burnley under 2.25 at -144. Everton and Leicester, both teams to score at -147. Spurs, halftime, full-time, -131. Wolves and Crystal Palace, both teams to score in over 2.5 at +133. Chelsea, Southampton, Chelsea -1.5 at +162, and Chelsea in the under 4.5 at -135. Liverpool at +138, and Liverpool in the over 1.5 at +143. Arsenal -0.75 at -131. Banker, Tottenham halftime, full-time at -131. And double Liverpool and Arsenal at +286.
Ooh, nice. All right. I'm going Burnley versus Huddersfield. Burnley, of course, 2.15. Crystal Palace, Wolves under 2.5 goals at 1.74. Both teams to score. Leicester versus Everton at 1.75. Spurs and the under 4.5 goals at 1.7. So tempted on the Watford win, but I am going to pass. Manchester United versus Newcastle under 2.5 goals at 1.97. Arsenal and the over 1.5 goals at 1.8. Chelsea and the under 4.5 goals at 1.95. And then the Liverpool win. Nap has to be Burnley. And then I'm going to parlay Arsenal and Chelsea. And Russ is going for both teams to score 1.9. Brighton versus West Ham. Burnley win. Burnley versus Huddersfield. That is a pass. Both teams to score. Leicester versus Everton. Spurs in the under 4.5 goals. Both teams to score. Watford versus Bournemouth at 1.67. Manchester United the under 4.5 goals at 1.73. Fulham plus 1.25 against Arsenal. And he's going for the under 2.5 goals. Southampton versus Chelsea, and the draw Liverpool and Manchester City. His nap is Burnley, and his parlay is Spurs and Manchester United, and the under 4.5 goals. I just want to say as well, big man, you're doing really well with your parlay bets, aren't you? Is it twice in a row now they've come in? That bumped you right up. I think you're muted, big man.
I didn't even see I was muted. Sorry. Thank you, Natalie. I appreciate that. Yeah, they've worked out. Hopefully in other leagues they'll work out as well. Quickly, someone's asking about the fight this weekend. I'm not a big UFC guy, but I will be betting this fight. I have Khabib. I think he beats Conor McGregor. He's a better fighter. He's more hard. I just like him a lot more. Better price as well. But I'd follow the site here. A lot of people take and bet UFC a little bit more frequently than I do.
Yeah. I've just pulled them up. Yeah, twice in a row. He did the Everton win and the Burnley win. Multiple odds of 5.6. Incredible. And then the Man City win to 0 and Liverpool win to 0 as well, of odds of 3.7 there. That's what gets you on top. That's why Big Man's on top there. All right, fantastic stuff. Big thank you to Flash Big Man and new guest here, Michael. It's been an absolute pleasure. Michael, did you have fun?
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was a blast.
Okay, good. All right, guys, we'll be back. New time. Don't forget, we're in new time now. What is it? 2 p.m. Is it 2 p.m.? 2 p.m. Eastern time. So this is our new time because Big Man is on the radio. So stay tuned. I'll see you soon. Best of luck with your bets. And thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Cheers,
Matt.